Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
When I was younger, I used to hear this phrase, sleep is sacred. Sleep is sacred. I didn't really think of anything of that until I wasn't getting sleep. I was working crazy schedules, gave myself an ulcer because of that. Not even kidding. Stress and lack of sleep. So now sleep is sacred. It really is. It's like one of the most important things. We're going to talk about that today and how you can improve your sleep, things that you can do. And she knows all about that. She's got a medical background. She's an eating psychology coach. She also works with doTERRA, which has many great products, including essential oils. And Holly Agnew is back on the program. Welcome. How you doing, Holly?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I want to tell everybody your website is www.hollysholistic.health.net.
Yes.
Got it right. All right, awesome. Sleep is so important. And I'll even give you another example. A friend of mine has had sleeping problems. She was on a med. She reduced the med and thought that might do the deal. And I said, good morning. She said, good morning. This is about an hour and change ago. And then I said, I was tempted to call you and say good morning, but I didn't want to wake you like your sister did yesterday. And it says delivered. She went back to sleep because she didn't sleep well last night. That's exactly what happened. What are your first thoughts when we get into the topic of sleep, Holly? What do you think?
Well, last week we talked about stress. So stress and sleep go hand in hand, and we try to separate them. But how many times have you laid awake at night because your mind just won't shut off? You know, you're thinking about, oh, I got to do this, this, and this tomorrow. This happened today, and I need to deal with that. Or, it goes on and on. I mean, there's tons of things that affect our lives and our sleep. And if we don't learn how to deal with the stress, then it affects our sleep. So the body responds to stress in a bunch of different ways. So some of the things one can experience and how they might manifest themselves include you get a headache, you have anxiety, you start overeating or undereating.
Mm.
You have muscle tension or pain, you get restlessness, maybe have outbursts. You have fatigue, you get feeling overwhelmed, and then you're complacent. You have an upset stomach, you have sadness or depression, and that can lead to ulcers. And other symptoms might include things like chest pain, high blood pressure, shortness of breath. And that's just to name a few. So getting enough sleep, like 6 to 8 hours, the 6 to 8 hours is recommended. Some people require more, like my husband, he requires 10 to 12 to be fully rested. I can get by with 7. So you just need to make sure you figure out whatever works for you and get that in. And it's best to have like the same time to go to bed and the same time to get up every day. Even if I used to work shift work, and that you talk about really screwing yourself up, that will do it. And when you're up for a long period of time, or your sleep cycle is a little messed up, you need to try to get back to that as much as you can, because your body has a circadian rhythm, and if you're not in that, your body's going to suffer.
It's so true. And it's amazing how all of these things can work against you. To your point, when you have stress, sometimes you'll eat more, even before you go to bed. You're just like, I need something. Well, it may be you're lacking sleep, which sets off chemical in your body that makes you want to eat. So you eat before you go to sleep. Guess what? You don't sleep well because now you have food in your stomach that can sometimes work in your favor, but it can also give you reflux, indigestion. Then you're not sleeping well there. And 100 billion%, Holly, a regular schedule. You got to get on that rhythm, right?
Yes. Yeah. And just staying in the rhythm is kind of hard at times. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but stress kind of has a way of eating away at your body. And it can cause lots of serious health problems like depression, anxiety, heart disease, high blood pressure, abnormal heart rhythms, heart attacks, and stroke. And physical symptoms might include things like aches and pains, exhaustion, headaches, dizziness, muscle tension, jaw clenching, and stomach and digestive problems. And again, the key is learning how to deal with that stress. So let's talk for a minute about the effects of sleep deprivation. So that's a biggie. So think about how many times you've experienced these: irritability, cognitive impairment, memory lapses or loss, impaired moral judgments, symptoms of ADHD, impaired immune system. There's also a risk of type 2 diabetes, a risk of heart disease, decreased reaction time, aches, tremors, and risk of obesity. So lots of things. It's funny how your body all works together as one big piece, but we like to segment it out. Um, and again, a lot of this can go back to eating the correct foods that will help to support your body in what it needs to do what it needs to do.
It's so true. Like, but isn't it funny, Holly, that it takes sometimes years, decades to really realize what the heck is going on? Like you just
Mhm.
are on this cycle of eating the same bad stuff or just not doing the right thing. And then it's like, I can't sleep. That's the way it is. I can't, but there's a reason for that. It's not just your body is not programmed to sleep. You're designed to sleep. You need to sleep to rebuild, refresh, all of that. There's got to be reasons for you not sleeping well.
Yeah. And actually, it's the American Psychological Association says that 40 million Americans suffer from over 70 different sleep disorders, and 60% of adults report having sleep problems a few nights a week or more.
Mm,
So it's very prevalent. And the thing you want to try not to do is to go the prescription route, because a lot of those are very addictive
yep.
and they're harmful to your body. If you just read the side of the package, I mean,
Yeah.
read the insert that comes with it. That's enough to scare you.
Holly, I just had this, the person I just mentioned on the text had the same conversation last night. And what she was prescribed to sleep, it blew her mind when she found out that it's an antihistamine. And I said, yeah, most of the over the counter meds to help you sleep, NyQuil, and just name the other ones, it's an antihistamine
Yeah.
because they make you sleep.
Yep.
May cause drowsiness. Well, that's the desired. Now it's a desired effect of it. But also to your point, even the other medications which are prescribed can be problematic. I was prescribed something for occasionally, just need to catch up every once in a while. Haven't taken it forever, but I'm trying to think of what it's called. Trazodone. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm the worst with God bless you, doctors, nurses, every that remember the names of medications. I can't. But I looked into it, and it was actually the very first antidepressant, which came out in like 1980. But they figured out that, oh, it relaxes you and helps you sleep. I tried it a couple of times. I even cut them in half, take the less dosage. It jacked me up. Like
Hmm.
it made me like, my heart beating faster and I couldn't sleep. Eventually I did fall asleep. That didn't work for me. So there's got to be other things. There's got to be more natural ways to get sleep.
Oh, yeah, there are. And we'll talk about those in a minute. But let's talk about what sleep does for your body so everybody can understand how important it is.
For sure.
Okay, the first thing it does is it rejuvenates your body. It's when your body repairs itself. It promotes proper growth throughout the body. It's when the body does its most important healing work. Deep sleep triggers the body to release hormones that promote normal growth in children and teens. And without proper sleep, our bodies have no energy and our minds are inefficient. And loss of sleep or insomnia interferes with our ability to work and think clearly. How many times has that happened to you?
Oh my gosh. And I can remember, I'm sure a lot of us can, the last time you didn't get sleep and what you felt like. Like I can't focus. I'm grouchy. I don't know what it is. Yeah, you didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next thing it does is it helps to regulate your metabolism.
Mm,
It also affects how your body reacts to insulin, the hormone that controls your blood glucose levels, so the sugar in your body. It helps to maintain a healthy balance of the hormones that make us feel hungry or full. And it alters the kinds of hormones that affect our appetite. Next, it helps to improve our memory. It makes you smarter and happier. That's always a good thing.
mm.
It helps to enhance our learning and problem solving skills. It helps the brain work the way it's meant to. It helps you pay attention, make decisions, and be creative. And since sleep helps the brain commit new information to memory, a lack of it leads to poor retention and makes it difficult to learn. And sleep loss may result in irritability, impatience, inability to concentrate, and moodiness. And then the last thing, or not the last thing, the other thing I want to talk about that it does is it helps to fight off disease. And this is probably one of the biggest things right now
Mm.
because most of us have impaired immune systems from the get-go, just from the foods that we eat. So when you take the sleep part into account, it's going to put you at an even bigger deficit as far as your immune health is. So the liver, when unrested, can't process fat efficiently, which can cause an increase of fat tissue. Your immune system relies on sleep to stay healthy, and ongoing sleep deficiency can change the way in which your immune system responds. And lack of sleep, anything less than 6 hours a night, may challenge the normal activity of our genetic ability to live in sync with the natural circadian rhythms.
It's so
So,
important. It really
yeah.
is.
So, what are some ways to um, improve your night's sleep? We're going to talk about, again, we're going to talk about essential oils in a minute. This is just overall. So, you want your room to be cool. You don't want it to be too hot because when you're too hot, you're restless. You want to limit alcohol and caffeine, especially before you go to bed. You want to try to skip naps. Sometimes, like a 10 or 15-minute nap, like in the middle of the afternoon, is not bad, but you don't want to make them too long because then that'll mess everything up for that night. And you also don't want to eat meals at bedtime because your body's focusing on digesting, not on sleeping.
Yep.
And then for some people, even wearing a mask over your eyes can help. So
I just want to throw in one thing. I used to wear a mask because I used to take naps because of broken sleep schedule. I had eye issues after a while. I don't know if it was the fabric or, you got to make sure you wash it regularly. Who would ever think you're the only one using it? But I'm just throw that out there because
yeah,
it's like, what is
yeah,
going
I've
on?
never worn one, but I have some friends that have worn them and they like them, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like it on my eyes. So
It took me some time to get used to it. I totally hear what you're saying, Holly. And but you got to do whatever works. I mean, like probably 3 nights out of the week I sleep on the couch. Why? I don't know. I got nothing. It just feels comfortable. It's maybe a change of pace. It's like when you go to a hotel, it's like a different bed, and it's like, oh, this is kind of different, kind of nice. Just kind of changing up. But really, what it comes down to, whatever works for you. I do want to go back to what you said before, that we are immune compromised by many different things. And for anybody that doesn't truly believe it, start researching it. The toxins in our foods are really beating on our
mhm.
bodies. And now
Oh
you
yeah,
add lack of sleep, and now you've got some serious stuff going on there.
oh yeah, and add in the stress and not handling that. There you are.
It's amazing we're still walking around.
Yeah. And one thing I did forget to mention was avoiding screens
Yeah,
before you go to bed. So a lot of people, and I don't know how they do this, they like to sleep with the TV on. So that can be detrimental to your sleep. And even just having them on like 30 minutes before you go to bed is not good. You want to try to shut them off before that.
100%. Yeah, and some people will say, well, I can't because I need that to go to sleep, but it's a habit. So if you break the habit, it might take you a few days to get used to not having it on, but it's a huge, even now there's others that will say having your device on your nightstand is a bad idea
Right.
because it's emitting certain
EMS.
electromagnetic energy fields,
Yeah.
and that could
Yeah.
be
And there's a lot of research that backs that. I have a hard time doing that because that's the only phone I have in my house, and that's also my alarm clock.
same. Yeah.
So yeah, I understand that. Like my sister-in-law now, she has brain cancer, and she's really in tune to the EMFs, and we have a Verizon tower not too far from where we live. So she's like has a constant headache because of that, and even she has dish TV, and the EMFs from the dish TV mess with her brain.
Wow.
And I'm not
So
saying that caused her cancer. That's not what it did. I'm just saying it that she can tell when she's in the room. Like I had my cell phone and I was trying to show her a picture, and she's like, "You need to move that away. I can't. It hurts my head."
wow. So sorry to hear, but
Yeah.
there's a testament to what's going on there because of her condition, she's so much more aware and sensitive to it. Wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
They do have, just so you know, they do have phone cases that have EMF protectors in them.
well,
Just
don't laugh, but I am going to go on Amazon and buy a $20 alarm clock because I do the
yeah,
same exact thing. And how many times have you done this? This drive you crazy. Your phone's on your nightstand. You shut off your notifications, but there's one app that, yeah, you missed that one. And you're laying there and you hear like, oh, really? I was just about to go to sleep. And then I'm too tired to open up the phone and figure out which is giving me the notification. It could be, I don't know, it could be it could be Snapchat. I don't even know what it is. I forget which one that I allowed the notifications on, but what does it do? It breaks your sleep cycle, right? When you're
yeah,
just getting into that rhythm. Yeah. So let's talk about now we know we should get sleep. And I don't think we need to push that anymore because it's crystal clear what we just said there, really
right.
what you laid down. Um, some ways to sleep that can help us. I know that essential oils can be essential. I mean, who hasn't put lavender down on their pillow? If you haven't, I mean, step one, I would think, right?
Yeah. But and the thing is to find essential oils that are right for you because not everybody likes all the essential oils.
True.
So there are some that have the opposite effect. Like I have a friend who lavender sets her off. It does the exact opposite of what it does for everybody else. So it's important that you kind of experiment to
Yeah.
see which ones work for you. Um, and there are certain things that you can do with essential oils, like you can do a Epsom salt bath.
Mm.
That's really calming, and the magnesium that's in the Epsom salts also helps with calming you down and that kind of thing. But the essential oils in there also are very nice. So you can put the important thing is if you're doing a bath with essential oils, you don't want to just put the essential oil in the water because it'll just float on top. You want to mix it
Uh,
into the Epsom salts and then put the Epsom salts in the bath because that helps it to mix in.
yeah. Great,
'Cause it's
great
like
suggestion. Yeah, because duh,
yeah,
it's
because
oil.
oil and water don't mix. They're
Yeah.
not technically an oil per se, but they do float on top. So you don't want to just put them on there because certain oils are not friendly with certain areas of your body, shall we say.
Uh, okay.
So depending on what's in them, they might irritate your skin.
Duly noted. So, and okay, wasn't even thinking that, wasn't aware of that, but something to know. So what you're saying is you should, because it's an oil, obviously, you don't want it to float on the water. You want it mixed in with the water. Would that minimize the potential irritation that you're talking about?
Yeah,
Because it's mixed
yeah,
in with the water.
right, yeah, with the Epsom salts in the water.
Right, right. So
Yeah,
you're not getting a so to speak a full hit on certain parts of your body from
right.
the essential oil. All right,
Yeah,
all right. Things you
yeah,
learn. Things you
yeah. So here are some ways to promote healthy sleep using essential oils. So you can diffuse them, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that's just putting the scent into the air with a really fine mist. You can take a warm bath or shower. You can drop the oil in the back of the shower and it kind of diffuses throughout the shower. That's really nice. You can put it in your pillow or on your bed. You can just put it in a spray bottle, shake it up with some water, and mist your bed clothing. You can put it on a heating pad or a neck wrap. And I actually have a recipe where you can make your own neck wrap, and
Mm.
it's really nice. You can also do topical application, like massage or something like that. Massages are wonderful.
Of course.
And you can also put them in tea, so you can make a hot tea to drink. And here are some essential oils, and I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of them in more depth. But here are some essential oils that can help with sleep. And just like anything else, you kind of have to experiment to see what works for you. Bergamot is one of them. That's a citrus oil. Cedarwood, cilantro, clary sage, frankincense, lavender. We have a blend called Serenity, another one that's balance. Past tense is another blend we have. Marjoram, melissa, petitgrain, Roman chamomile, sandalwood, thyme, vetiver, lang lang, and a blend called Peace. So some of the ones that I really like, one of the ones is Balance. That is a grounding blend, and it promotes whole body relaxation, which is exactly what you want when you go to bed. And I like to diffuse that with Serenity. And also I put both of them on topically as well. But you can spray your bedding as well with that. But they are very calming and help you to rest easy. Another one is called Breathe, and that is our respiratory blend, because if you're congested or you snore or something like that, it not only does it help you sleep better, it helps your partner sleep better if you, if you have anybody in the room with you. Because I know my husband snores, and when he does, I put Breathe in the diffuser. He stops snoring,
Really?
and I'm able to sleep. Unless he's really, really, really tired, he doesn't snore.
So Holly, you find that that makes a difference when you put Breathe, that mixture in the diffuser?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
and we even have a thing called a breathe stick. It's kind of like a Vicks vapor rub, but it's with the Breathe oil, and he'll put it underneath his nose before he goes to bed. It also helps to clear your congestion and everything,
Hmm. Wow.
um, and that helps him to get a better night's sleep.
So I was thinking about this, getting oils and a diffuser as a gift for someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that all diffusers are not created equally. Are there any suggestions you have for
Oh, we have like 5 or 6 different diffusers that are
that?
nice. We even have one that is a humidifier. So if you burn wood like we do, it helps to put the moisture into the air, as well as the
Wow.
stuff that kills the stuff floating around in the air.
Interesting. Huh. All right. Well, is there, aside from that extra feature, diffusers themselves, is there anything that stands out in your mind that you would be like be a go-to, like, oh, if you're going to do it, you definitely need this or that?
Um, it depends on the size of your room. You want to make sure you have one that's big enough for the room that you're going to be using. Um, and most of it's more along convenience line, because some of them you can plug in, and then they're detachable or whatever, so you don't have they're portable, I guess is the
Okay.
word. So you can plug them into a USB and then take them somewhere,
Sure.
like your car or whatever. And then there are other ones that are water. Some of them are not, or just have like a felt pad in them, where you put the oil on the felt pad and do that. So it depends on what you're looking for and what kind of convenience you're looking for.
How long should you diffuse for? I hear all different things. Like people say, Not 24 hours, never do that." A certain amount of time.
Well, our diffusers are set. You can run them full time for like 8 hours, most of them. But once I usually run mine intermittently. They have different settings,
Okay, great.
so they're on so many minutes, off so many minutes, and you can adjust that to however you want it to a certain extent. And
Hmm.
that's usually what I do, because that way it makes the oil last longer. Plus, it helps to just keep it so you don't have to keep refilling it, because if they're water, if they're filled with water, you got to keep putting water in them. So
Yeah, my first thought is it's one of those purchases that you don't make often. So spend a little bit more, get get that feature, whatever you're looking for, especially the timer portion of it. I have one in the other room, haven't used it in a while. It's somebody used to work here and they left it behind, and it's just a cheap one, and it's just I I don't think it's good, is what I'm
yeah,
saying. Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of diffusers out there, and I know the ones that DoTerra makes are made specifically for the oils, because like the citrus oils on most plastic, like if you were to put them in a plastic bottle, they would eat the bottle away eventually.
Say that again, please.
If you were to put the essential oils in a plastic bottle, they'll eat it away eventually, because they help to rid your body of petroleum products, and a plastic bottle is a petroleum product. So if you're going to drink, like if you're going to put an essential oil in something to drink, you want to use something like this, like a stainless steel container or glass. And if you're going to be drinking the water, pretty quickly, within an hour or so, a plastic bottle is not real bad, but that's not my go-to at all.
Well, I agree with you there, that being known, because how many times have you heard about, I think they're PBAs or whatever that chemical compound is that is in plastic bottles where you never want them to heat up, like leave them in the trunk and then drink the water because it'll change
Right.
the chemical makeup and all that stuff. So,
And you
even
can
just,
taste it sometimes. If
yeah,
they're,
well, even just what you said is enough for me.
yeah.
But buy the metal one. All right. So many great ideas here and so helpful. I mean, think about it. If you have somebody on your holiday list that has reoccurring sleep issues, this could be a game changer, and it's all natural. You're not pumping
Mhm.
chemicals into your body. The essential oils are coming from plants. Essentially they're coming from plants. Your website has everything there.
Yeah, there's a button that you can click on up at the top, and it'll take you to where you can shop.
Yeah, so it's www. Holly's Holistic Health.
Not Holly's Holistic Health.
Say that one more time.
www.
Holly's Holistic Health.net. All right, just a full disclosure, you have to put the www dot in there. So I was trying to remember to do that. I forgot the dot. But yeah, awesome tips and so important. I mean, if there's any food and sleep, and love, most important things that you need to thrive, and there it is. You want to make the most of it. Any final thoughts?
Well, I just want to leave you with 5 reasons to use essential oils every day.
Go.
1 is to balance emotions, relieve muscular tension, stress, and head tension, help with mental clarity and focus, improve sleep and rest, and reduce toxins in your home.
Get on that. It is
1 big package right there.
Yeah. I think a lot of us forget that essential oils can perform so many different functions. And many of us just think that, oh, they smell great. They can be relaxing. Maybe they can help you sleep a little bit if you put a drop on your pillow, but it goes way, way deeper. So do the research, and doTERRA is the product that you truly believe in with a medical background.
Right. And also just be aware that all essential oils are not created equal.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was going to mention before that I happen to be on Amazon just looking around, and it's so funny. You find 4 oils plus a diffuser, $25. And it even says on each bottle, 100%. Well, that's great. 100% what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not, essential oils are one of the most highly adulterated things out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say here, and I think you might back me up on this. If you see 4 bottles of essential oil plus the diffuser and it's only $25, you're not getting a roof. Yeah. No, don't do that. It's a waste. All right.
Yeah, it's a waste.
So great having you on, and look forward. I know sometime in the future we'll reconnect again.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.